Hey everybody, this is Kevin Davidson back with segment number 2 of episode number 27 of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective podcast. My first guest, Brandon Dennis, did a great job. This here is Dowanna Baker. Everybody knows Dowanna. The reason it's taken 6 months to get her on the podcast is because her schedule is so backed up. She actually had to bump somebody just to be here today, right?
Yes, if that's what you say. No, I think the first time you asked me to do it, I double booked or triple booked.
Or you were out of town, one of the two.
Oh, that probably was it.
Yeah,
I was
'cause
probably
you-
out of town. I
you
stay
travel
out of
a lot,
town.
yeah.
I stay out of town. Sorry.
So this is Dowanna Baker. Tell everybody what you do and who you're with.
I'm Dowanna Baker. I am with Red Real Estate Driven, LLC. I have been in real estate now for 18 years, 18 long years.
That's a whole podcast in itself.
Yeah, whole podcast in itself. 18 years. I was the past president for Women's Council Realtors Fort Bend. Mother, daughter, wife. Got 2 sons.
There you go. She's got everything going on. Since you've been an agent for 18 years, can you remember why you decided to become a real estate agent?
So the main reason why I became a real estate agent is I was very fascinated with homes and looking at homes and whatnot. Before becoming a real estate agent, I have a nursing degree from Syracuse University. I was actually working as a nurse at UTMB while I was getting my real estate license. Never thought in a million years that I would leave nursing to actually do real estate. But at that time, had a child. My husband started traveling for his job, and he was like, okay, somebody has to give. So I let go of nursing to raise my son. And then in the meantime, between time, I was able to still do my real estate and be a mom and have a more flexible schedule. So that is one of the main reasons why.
But 18 years later, you're still a real estate. Do you feel like you made the right decision?
Yes, because I love helping people. So the main reason why I really, really do real estate is I love helping people. That is in my nature to help people, whether I'm buying, selling, leasing. I really just like helping people. So I feel like I made the right decision. Every year, my broker can attest to this. I tell Nellie every year that I'm getting out of real estate. If somebody make me mad in real estate, I'm getting out of real estate. But I end up staying because I have past clients who call me and, people who refer me people, and I feel like I need to help them. So that's why I stay in real estate.
If you did get out of real estate, would you go back to nursing?
I would.
Do you miss nursing?
I miss it at sometimes. I do miss it. I always say that I'm going to go back and work my latter years for Social Security purposes, if Social Security will be around when it's time for me to get Social Security. But I do miss it. One of my goals is to go back to school, and I always said I wanted to get my master's degree in nursing. So that's something I'm going to be working on here shortly. So, yeah. And if I do go back to nursing, it wouldn't be like full time. I'll probably work 2 days, 3 days a week.
So you'd still be doing real estate, but it wouldn't
but
be
still do,
full-time.
yeah, and I still will probably, if someone calls me for real estate, I will definitely keep my license active so that I can help them in the real estate realm.
So if you ever decided to do that, I'd still see you in my classes.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. You will definitely still see me in your classes.
So 18 years of real estate. There's got to be one thing that comes to mind that you can mention on today's podcast that nobody knows about that you experienced in real estate. There's probably hundreds of them, but what's one thing that sticks out?
Like for today, everyone is talking about the 7%, 8% interest rates. Well, in 2005, 8, in those days, we had those type of interest rates. So, the only thing different was the price of the homes were, yes, much cheaper, but those interest rates were the interest rates. So right now, I would tell a buyer, do not be scared of the interest rate. If buying a home is something you want, go for it. You can always refinance later down the line, but the interest rates are the interest rates. So don't be scared of the fact of the, oh, it's 7%, because everyone was used of the 2.5s and the threes and whatnot during the pandemic in those years. So don't be afraid of the interest rates.
It's funny you said 2005, 8, 9. I bought my home in Pearland in 2004. I paid, now it's not a huge house, but it's a 3-2, 1,200 square feet. Two full bathrooms. I paid $91,000 for it then.
Oh, I know.
And the interest rate was 9%.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. So, and you know what it's worth today? I just recently looked it up. It blew me away.
Probably close to 400,000.
No, it's not that high. I wish it was, but it's not that high. $240,000.
Okay. Well, yeah, about 3 times.
Three,
I was trying to give you like 3 to 4 times. That's what I'm giving you.
No, I understand. Yeah. But now, my house flooded in Harvey. I got 6 inches, first time it had ever flooded, and I had insurance. So the entire house has been completely remodeled.
Oh, I bet it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It ain't worth $240,000 though. It's not.
Well, if the market says it's worth that, that's what it's worth.
I'm not going to turn down the check. I'm just saying.
No, I bet you would not turn down that good check. No. Especially for what you pay for it and now. And that's what you have to get people to understand though too, that back then, the houses were a little bit cheaper. Interest rates were higher. So, I mean, it is what it is, take the 8% if I know a lot of people don't want this high interest rate, but you have to, like, if you really want to buy a house and it's something you really want to do,
just do it.
Just do it.
I mean, it's like you don't. I want to buy a new car, but I ain't gonna because of the interest rate, or I'm not gonna because they don't have the color red. Go buy a car if that's what you want to do.
Right.
Stop making excuses. I mean, this is not the same thing, but it's kind of an analogy. Everybody that knows me knows I play guitar. I've been telling everybody for years I want to learn how to play guitar. Someone finally told me to go learn how to play guitar. Stop talking about it. So guess what? 2.5 years later, I'm pretty good at it. Just do it.
Right.
Stop making excuses. I mean, the interest rates are
well, and I'm going to say this too, like interest rates are higher, but I was talking to somebody, if you think about how much people are paying in rent, because rents have went up.
It's ungodly right now.
Yeah, like they went up significantly over the past couple years. So if you're paying a rent, if you're paying $3,000 to rent this loft, you might as well go ahead and buy your home and pay the $3,000, and your payment might be $100 or $200 more, but still it's worth it. Then you're staying in this loft that you're not getting any equity, you're not getting any benefits from taxes or anything. It's not yours. You can't hang up a picture, you can't paint the walls, you can't have a dog, you can't have this, you can't have that. So why not take advantage of buying a house, bite the bullet, get the interest rate, if it's 7, it's 7. And then again, like I said, I think the interest rates might go down a little bit where you can refinance and get a cheaper rate. But just bite the bullet.
I had a mortgage guy here today, and he told me that interest rates are going to start coming down probably first quarter of next year. They will never get down to where they were in COVID, but they'll probably get down to and hover right around 5. And you really can't ask for much better than that.
Oh, no. And I was going to say, whenever I came into real estate, like in 2004, 2005, 5 was the, if you got a 5, you were like happy. So when you did get the 7,
you got a 5, you bought 2 houses.
That part. So when you 5 was, people were happy with 5. So, I mean, be happy with the fact that you're going to get a lower interest rate eventually. If you, keep everything right, you can refinance and you'll be in your home. You'll be in your beautiful home, and you have some equity.
And by the time that you refinance, you might have some equity, and you can take some of that equity out and pay off some other bills, or remodel, or buy that car, or whatever.
Or go on vacation.
Go on vacation. Whatever. Whatever you like to do.
Right.
So, you mentioned that you were past president of WCR. You want to talk about WCR for a minute?
Yes, I am past president of Women's Council Realtors. This year, I thought I was going to be able to step away from Women's Council, but they needed someone to come back and fulfill a position as the program director. We've had some really great programs. Rhonda Gilbo, now Dr. Rhonda Gilbo, is her presidency will be up at the end of this month. Women's Council is a network that is not just geared for women. So we do have men in Women's Council. So don't think that, men are not in Women's Council, but there's a lot of education, referral, networking that goes on, and leadership. The leadership qualities and skills that you get from Women's Council are just tremendous. And you meet so many people in Women's Council. I've met so many people from across the world that I don't think I probably would have met, that I can use and put in my pipeline for referrals and networking. If I go to another state, I can always look up a Women's Council member and go see what's going on in their neighborhood and let them show me around. So I've met some really nice people in Women's Council. We will be out in Anaheim November the 11th through the 16th for the national conference. We'll be installing a new Women's Council president. We've had our own national president here, and one of our national presidents is local, and it's Miss Joanne Stevens. So she was, it's something that you can obtain, a goal that you can attain. Just now being here in Texas, you can actually obtain to be the national president of Women's Council. So it's a very good network, a very good organization that I think people should try to get into, especially if you need a little help and you need someone to help you, guide you along the way in your real estate. So
I've been involved in Women's Council Realtors even back to my property management days. So, it's benefited me in my career and helping me grow my business. And at the same time, because of my education and my CE classes, I've been able to give back to you guys and help you guys out.
Oh, and I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. And I think everyone, when you've done our classes, everyone who's taken your classes, some of them have never known anything about Kevin Davidson. And I'm like, well, he's a great guy. Y'all need to go over to Stewart Tower. They got a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of people love your classes. We got great feedback from your classes. So I appreciate you partnering with us, helping us. And I'm hoping we be able to continue that partnership from here. You
guys are already at the top of the calendar, just waiting for dates.
Okay, so I'm hoping we can just continue that up, because that's what we need. You need to partner with people and leverage, help each other in this business, because not everybody know everything. So, just having those partnerships and be able to know you can go to someone and get some answers and let them help you with your business, vice versa, you help them with their business. So I really appreciate that.
And there are many networking organizations that you can attend or join out there.
Right.
I've joined them all, and I'm still part of WCR. That says something.
I appreciate it. Thank
all right.
you.
I don't need to name them on the podcast, but call me and I'll tell you which ones you don't need to join.
And you know what? And I'm gonna be honest with you. And there's a lot of organizations. When I was the president, I tried to attend everyone's activities so that I can just show support, and was hoping in return they would do the same. Some did, some didn't. There's a lot out there, and you can go broke by joining all these different organizations, but I think you should at least join 2 to 3 organizations so you can just see what they're doing, because you can learn something from each and every organization. And there's a lot, but I also feel like in organizations, we need to all try to figure out how we can partner with one another, because we're all trying to give out that same information. And if we can partner with each other, who you know and who I know, we can probably pack the room and make a bigger and greater impact than us all trying to do it individually. So that's one of the things that I tried to do last year. It was try to partner with different people, try to get my board and all of us to go and support other organizations, like I said, in return that they support us. And like I said, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But, that's here nor there.
It's the nature of the business. So.
It is the nature of the business.
What in the last couple of minutes that we have, you're also a real estate agent. So what kind of, do you work with everybody? What's your favorite part about real estate?
So everybody who knows me, I really don't like listings, because
Ooh, she didn't stutter at all. Wait a minute. You don't like listings?
No.
How am I supposed to work with you?
So I get listings, and the listings I do get are from referrals. I'm really not a big listing person, and it's because it's kind of hard telling people that, listen, your house is not worth what you think it's worth. And you need to clean, you need to declutter, you need to do this, you need to do that. Some people are not receptive of taking that advice of you telling them what it needs to take to sell their home. And some people get very offended, but I feel like, there's certain things and requirements you need to do to get your home ready. And I'm not a big fan of people who's like, well, I'm going to do all this work to sell my house. No, you need to be maintaining your house as you go and getting it ready, because you never know when you might need to sell your home. And enjoy the things that you put in your home, not spend all this money to sell the home to think you're going to get dollar for dollar back that you put into it. You need to spend the money, enjoy the upgrades and whatnot you have done in the home, and eventually that will pay off and you will get a greater reward at the end. But I think I just hate telling people like, hey, you need to do this and that to get your home ready. And then they don't listen. And then their house sit on the market for longer than what it should have to sit on the market. I love helping with buying homes because I love looking at homes. And I love to see the families being excited about, like, this is where they're going to start their new life. So I love helping people buy homes. I've done away a little bit with helping with with leases, because it's time consuming. It's a little bit more time consuming. I was going to say there's a lot more work involved. It's a lot of more work.
For less of a payoff.
That part. And not necessarily like less of the payoff. There's a lot of people out here who you ask them, you're trying to be honest with them. Okay, how's your credit? This is what people are going to be looking for. And, people are not going to lease to you because you have this, and this going on. So, like, oh, no, it's good. And then here you find out it's not. And then they don't end up leasing. They end up having to go into an apartment. I mean, you can get paid with helping with apartments too, but still, they end up going into an apartment. It's not what they really want. They want more. They want this big old nice house for $100. And it's like, no, it's $2,000. Rent went up that high. Yes, it's up that high. So, all of that, having to, educate them on that. So, that I've done away with leases. The only way I would do a lease is someone that actually referred me somebody that I know that they actually qualified.
You don't actively market your business for leases.
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't.
So we've talked a lot about you being in the business for 18 years, what you like about the business, what you don't, WCR. So why don't you tell everybody how to get a hold of you if they either need a real estate agent or want or have questions about WCR?
So you can reach me at Dowanna Baker at on social media. I'm just regular Dowanna Baker. It's sad. I'm not a big social media person. So if you do reach out to me, I will check my messages and see that you reached out. But you mainly can reach me at 832-489-5393. That's my cell. Always on. Always available. My email address is dbaker@myredrealtor.com, or you can message me through HAR, through our HAR pages, our HAR website.
For people that don't know, what's HAR?
Oh, Houston Association of Realtors.
There you go.
Been a member since 2005. Also, with Women's Council, you can reach out to Women's Council at wcr.org. Or you can do the / Fort Bend. There is a social media page for Women's Council Realtors Fort Bend on Instagram and in Facebook, so you can always reach us there. But again, I'm not a big social media fan, and I think you know this. I told you this. I'm not big on videos and everything, so I'm kind of surprised that Kevin even got me to do this video. This is like the second time he didn't trick me to do a video, but Not a big fan of videos. Not a big fan of videos. I know it's out there. I know it's video marketing. I know people get a lot of business through social media and videos. I'm kind of a little old school when it comes to that. I'd rather actually pick up the phone and call you, or actually meet up and have an organic conversation. So again, if anyone is interested, they can always call me on my cell phone at 832-489-5393.
Awesome. So, guys, if you need a real estate agent and or you want to talk about Women's Council of Realtors, or even she mentioned Houston Association of Realtors, Dowanna Baker, give her a call. Give them the phone number one more time.
832-489-5393.
Awesome. Thank you for being on the podcast finally.
Thank you for having me, Kevin. I'm so glad I was able to make it. We'll
put you on the calendar for next year, too.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm going to be on the calendar. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better next year. I am going to definitely do better next year with video and getting my CRM and getting all my stuff together, because I'm really lazy when it comes to all that kind of stuff. So.
You got to do the marketing.
I know.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the podcast. Thanks to Brandon Dennis for guest number 1. This has been episode number 27 of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective podcast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching the podcast. Again, I want to thank Jennifer Smidas, Caitlin Kornick, Devin, and Wendy Santana, my support staff, and their assistants as well. And again, if you've watched this, if you watched any of my episodes at my YouTube channel, Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective, and you want to be a guest on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com. I'll be glad to put you on the calendar. You got to be an agent, and you got to be a vendor that works in the Fort Bend County area. That's all that you need to do. Until next week, till episode 28, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.